Welcome, Brew Roots listeners.
What up?
Da-na-na-na.
Here we are.
I'm amped up because I just ate a shit ton of wings that were smoked and some pretzel tots.
That were like,
Delicious.
it was like a whole bunch of stuff. It was great.
Oh, dude, it was lit as fuck, as the kids say.
This day, yeah. Or that slaps, like I say.
I don't, yeah.
Yeah.
We should make up a new one.
We should find the kids and ask them, what do you say?
Hey, we're the Brewers Podcast. What do you guys think we should say next?
Straight gas.
Straight gas.
gas.
Straight
What's that?
gas.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
I've never
heard that
you know,
one.
that shit's gas.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the food here is gas and the beer. Yeah. That sounds so bad though. It's like, oh, I just like ripped ass. Like that's gas. I don't know.
Right?
You know?
But no, seriously,
Like in the best way, this rips.
just rips. Yeah.
Rips? See, rip. There we go.
Such a mess.
Yeah, fart jokes. Here we go.
Brews Podcast.
This
Yeah.
particular brewery / restaurant / amazing place
Yes.
has attributed to 15 to 20 pounds of weight gain
During COVID for you.
during
for sure.
COVID for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thanks a lot. I used to be way hotter.
Cheers to that.
You're welcome.
Now I have a dad bod, which is equally as in.
I was going to say, you're killing it, man.
No, the
Taking
dad
people
bods are
down
in.
down with my ship. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a thick boy, 3 C's. Oh my God. All right, so where are we?
We're at Backyard Brewing.
If you didn't know by my awesome description.
The best description.
It was okay.
Yeah.
At best.
And who are we here with?
this is Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
That's great.
I thought your name was Williams because you just says it on your.
No, my sister-in-law is a professor at Williams. I'm way too dumb to actually go to that school. So
Yeah.
Smart.
but
I never thought you
got to
were.
rock the family.
Yeah.
Don't let people tell you that shit. You're smart enough. I went to BU. I'm just a poor old fish boy.
He
I
is a
don't know.
fish boy. Yeah.
I don't know.
20% fish.
Blah,
I
blah, blah,
don't think they let you on that campus without a Range Rover. So that's
Oh, that's
impressive.
true.
Yeah, you don't have a Range Rover.
I
though.
don't have a Range Rover.
Yeah, we were looking at used cars today, actually, on our way up here. for
It's
him.
nice.
Depressing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
What car should Ryan get?
COVID pricing. What's that?
What car should Ryan get? What if you were to guess?
no.
Like, if you were to look at him and say, like, what car for Ryan?
Like a Smart 4.2. You know, one of those.
A what?
No, I'm just
Like a smart car, like one of those egg ones.
yeah.
Yeah, Ryan, those are sick. You should get
Really,
them.
really nailed that
Yeah,
Incredibles
no.
look. You
Yeah.
know, like,
Let's not. Let's not. I currently drive a Chevy Trailblazer.
oh, nice.
94, right?
No, it's an 05. Thank
Okay.
you very
All right.
much. It
That's
does
just off.
have 243,000 miles on it. But,
Who's counting?
Nice.
Yeah. All right, so episode over. This was really a lot
Great,
of
this
fun.
was the
Thank you so
best.
much for
This was
doing
straight
that.
gas.
hello, everyone. Good night.
Great guess.
Yeah, so we've been touring the southern New Hampshire beer scene.
Sure.
Kind
we
of.
have.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I like-
Central? I think we were more central.
Cent-
Actually, where is Manchester?
It's
It's the Queen
It's like
City.
Southern New Hampshire.
Yeah, it's southern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's an
Concord
hour. There's
is-
an
Hour
hour
from Boston.
Concord is central?
Concord's like
Consider?
the demarcation line for like south and central.
Yes.
Yeah,
Ooh.
there's a lot more north we can go.
Yeah, you
North.
can go like
Yeah.
four more hours.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
At minimum.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want.
Noted.
I would just stop here and get all the wings and gain 1,000 more
Yes.
pounds.
And then just
Same.
keep driving north with your wings.
Yes.
To Schilling.
Yeah, to Schilling.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea.
Schilling, by the time you get at Schilling, pizza.
I'll be-
the
yeah,
wings to
exactly.
be done.
Right.
You'd have to.
And then on the way back, I'd just come
You could
here.
get more wings.
More wings.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a beautiful plan.
Want to do it after this?
I mean,
Let's
No.
go.
What?
I got to do groceries. Sorry.
There's grocery. I'm sure there's market
You got
baskets
wings
around
here?
there.
I mean-
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
We,
true.
we have another interview to do. So
Do we? We do.
possibly.
So, New Hampshire, very cool beer scene. This is not just me like blowing smoke up your ass and saying like, oh, yeah, New Hampshire's cool. New Hampshire 7 years ago, beer scene was
Yeah,
not as great.
it's come a long way for
Yeah.
sure, in a pretty short amount of time.
Yeah. Like we've talked about, like, honestly, the last 5 years, I feel like. Or less.
What have we talked about from 5 years?
No,
5
but,
years.
like
Ironically,
the
we opened
beers-
5 years ago.
Right,
So
see,
maybe
there
we
you
did
go.
it. Maybe
You
we
started
already
it.
this for change.
Were you the catalyst?
I am. I'm the catalyst for the New Hampshire beer industry exploding. No,
an honor.
I honestly think it's we sort of we've always been sort of just behind all of our neighboring states. So when Mass blew up with Treehouse Trillium and
Oh, I've never
Notch.
heard of those. Those new?
Yeah, exactly. And Vermont, obviously, with the big two there. We sort of just realized that we could not be a state that makes shitty beer anymore. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of the consumers smartened up and sort of demanded and manually force that change.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I think that's just it, because if you make shitty beer, you're just not going to be open, right? You're gonna go out of business because people don't want to drink your shitty ass beer.
Right. The rising tide floats all boats sort of thing. Second boat reference in this podcast.
Jeez,
Oh, boats are sick. Yes.
I'm on a boat.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So, what's your role at Backyard?
So I'm the brew master, and I basically run brewing operations here, which is funny because it's only a staff of 2 people in brewing ops, but
You're killing it.
I'm number 1.
Damn right.
So
That's the crown you wear.
yeah, I mean, I work pretty close to the owners directly, and it's a pretty collaborative place in terms of how we run it here. So I tend to handle a little bit more than just brewing, making some bigger decisions, but technically not an owner or anything like that. Hired gun.
Hired gun.
So
Cool,
are
cool.
the owners more on the restaurant side of things? Like, do they spend more time over there?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, they sort of oversee everything.
Yeah.
We this was a restaurant. This used to be the Yard Restaurant from like 1974,
Yeah.
and
It was kind of like a New Hampshire staple.
oh
right?
yeah, man.
Yeah.
It was like Sunday brunches, lunch buffets, and
This
prime rib till
seems
you
like the place.
throw up.
Yeah.
So the original founder Ron is still active and an owner here, but his 2 kids have sort of taken over the day-to-day management of it.
Cool.
And they're sort of our age, sort of 30 somethings.
Yeah.
Sure.
And with that sort of brought the whole Backyard Brewery pivot from old steak and seafood restaurant
Kinda bring
that
it
was
to
sort
the
of
forefront.
aging out
Yeah.
and into something that's like, what can we do with this that, that would make lasting?
Shit, because this sounds so cool. Like right now, you're like, there's a brewery, there's wings, there's pretzel tots. What's gonna happen in like 15 years when this age is out? Like, what's gonna be the fucking?
I don't
food?
know. We're going to
You
be
know,
like,
like-
we're going to
What
need
do we do?
more wings or like more beer.
Well, like
Or-
was somebody like back in the 70s like, yo, prime rib and buffets are dope. Let's
If you would have told, if you would have told somebody, like in 1979 that like it was going to be a craft microbrewery with
What the fuck
smoked-
is that?
with
Yeah.
smoked chicken wings as their focal point of the menu,
No.
they would have been like, "You assholes, give me mashed potatoes on a buffet, please."
Yes, and Jello.
and Jello.
Oh, right. Love
Yeah.
the Jello. And yeah.
So can you kind of tell us your journey in craft beer?
Yeah, I mean, my father, I love to tell the story, but my father like blew out ceiling tiles in my bedroom when I was like 5 years old from like fruit fermentation. So
Fun.
it's been in my bones. So yeah, aside from getting covered in yeast kreutzen occasionally overnight,
Wait, that's so awesome.
Great.
What's your first memory of beer? That was-
baptism by fermentation. So, my dad was an OG, so to speak, where all of our family vacations revolved around one of the very few microbreweries in New England. So we'd go around and my dad would drag me in and drink craft beer until he was questionably sober. And then
Did he have like an
mom would drive him home. Did
he have like an altar to Charlie Papazian or something like
Oh
that?
yeah, don't worry, relax, have a homebrew. I think,
Yes.
yeah, and he, he still wears his holy Catamount Brewing.
My
shirt.
dad does too. It's
Yeah.
He's got like
1,000 rips in it.
I've seen my dad cry like 3 times in my
R.I.P.
life, and the first, like one of the most recent times was I bought him a Catamount Pilsner glass set for Christmas.
Oh.
and he was like so moved. I was just like,
Has he had the
I love you, Dad.
yeah, oh my god,
your dad?
so thoughtful.
Your dad and my dad would be boys. I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's
Boys.
still like every Saturday. Just like, where do you want to go?
Yeah. Now, what does he think about the harpoon variant of Catamount? That is like,
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
like
it's
he's like it wasn't made in White River Junction. Anything after White River Junction is imposter. Windsor
imposter.
doesn't exist.
this, yeah.
Yeah. So
Man, sounds like a Grateful Dead fan.
yeah,
No,
so
I'm kidding.
I grew up in, Catamount, 7 Barrel Brewery up in Lebanon, Gritty's.
Cool,
like
cool.
those are all like places my dad really respected and loved.
Yeah.
And he started home brewing, and like back then, I mean that was the thing. Like
Yeah.
you had one homebrew shop and
Right.
you made it 5 gallons at a time in a glass and you hand bottled everything.
Pre-hopped wort.
Yep. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Can
Give me
malt.
all
Yeah.
the IBUs.
Oh yeah.
And that was sort of like my first introduction into it. I never really showed any interest in it until I sort of got to school and was underage and was like, the light bulb
Hey, Dad.
clicked. Like, wait a minute, I
all
can
makes
make
sense
this
now.
and bring it with me.
Yeah.
So now it's like transporting beer as a minor across state lines. But I mean, I had the hookup, so that was sort of it. I started homebrewing in college and made some really terrible homebrew for a very long time, and then had a sort of professional crisis at a crappy desk job as a cubicle jockey, and took an internship at the Tap
In Haverhill?
in Haverhill.
Oh, nice.
I love that place.
Yeah, working with John Curtis and Brian Davis.
Very cool.
Shout outs. And learned a little bit of the professional side there, and went back to my cubicle job because brewing pays shit back then, especially.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's better now.
What's that? Slightly.
Yeah.
Or I found a rich wife. So like, well,
there
not a
you
rich,
go.
not a rich wife, someone who actually makes gainful employment
Yes, yes.
and support my subsidized habit.
Yeah.
And then of all things, they talk about kismet, but my wife worked out with one of the owners of this place and overheard at the gym that they were looking for a brewer.
Wow.
And my wife literally like called
Sold
me.
you.
Yeah. And then I was, you can ask the owners this is absolutely 100% true. I just showed up one day and they like were demolishing the restaurant, like in construction. And I just started like tearing shit apart and painting. And I never left. It was like there was really no job interview. There was no formalities. Like
You know how
like,
to
here,
swing a hammer. You're
have
good.
some homebrew. By the
Yeah.
way, I'm taking this job.
Yeah.
I'm not accepting no. So yeah, we I mean, I think I forced them to give me the job, and
That's great.
scared shitless for the first 6 months because there was a
Yeah.
lot that I didn't learn or didn't know, and sort of jumped in with both feet.
What year was that?
That was 2017,
Shit.
which feels like
Oh dang.
forever ago.
Right? Seriously.
Cool. So we're going to talk about 2017 and on. But we have to
Nice.
keep the lights on here. So Ryan, take it away. Quick.
At our local homebrew shop, Beer and Wine Hobby, you can get everything you need to make beer, wine, cider, cheese, and more. Not sure where to start? They have knowledgeable staff there to help. Beer and Wine Hobby is family owned and located in Danvers, Massachusetts. Visit their website, beer-wine.com, and use our promo code BREWROOTS for 10% off your online order today.
Shirts on Tap is the box subscription service for craft beer lovers. Each month, Shirts on Tap partners up with 7 different breweries from across the country and collaborates on a sweet custom shirt design. We've been teamed up with Shirts on Tap since the inception of the podcast and are proud to announce a new promo code for all of our listeners. To get your first shirt for $5 off, go to the link in our description below and use the promo code. And remember, drink better beer, wear better shirts. All right, so 2017,
Yes,
we're scared shitless.
You
we are.
forced
We
your
all
way
are.
in here.
We just didn't know why. Foreboding into 2020.
Yeah, it was the omen. We just didn't know. We didn't know.
Yeah.
What system were you brewing on? Or are you still brewing on the same system?
We're still on the same system we bought. So they hired, before I came on board, they hired a consultant to basically spec out and size and do some of the like the dirty details that they weren't prepared for coming from the restaurant side and not brewing. So we're on a 7-barrel Premier system out of San Diego, California.
Cool.
And we use the crap, like we abuse the shit out of that thing.
But it's a workhorse.
Yeah, very, very, very little lost time on that system. So,
Nice.
I think we put out like 1,300 barrels out of a 7 last year, which is turning and burning. So
Yeah,
For sure.
double batch days.
yeah, doubles, everything's on the table depending on the schedule. So depending on like what my kids are doing and like how I feel. I hate brewing on Mondays. I hate brewing on Fridays. So like typically we end up brewing like 4 times in 3 days, and yeah, that's so.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been on the same system. We expanded we had like in the initial plans, we had space for 2 15-barrel tanks and a Bright as, quote, future proofing. And we did that 3 weeks after we were open.
Oh, wow.
So
Cool.
we've been rolling with that ever since. And yeah, even in the summer, it's pretty dicey. But we started contracting last year after the laws changed in New Hampshire
Nice.
to sort of help alleviate the throughput issues.
Who do you contract with?
Great North.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Rob's a good dude.
Yeah.
Treats us well.
Definitely. So, no, you're not distributing. You're just kind of only here at the restaurant. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, 99% of our beer is sold in house. On 90% of that is on draft.
Yeah.
We do canning runs when
Oh,
we
okay.
can,
Cool.
which we use a mobile canner.
You use Ironheart?
Ironheart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're right down the street, so it's a wonderful
Makes sense.
relationship.
Yeah.
And yeah, really, like we don't have much more capacity to give aside from what we have. We've been looking at other options pretty aggressively to try and do an expansion or a dedicated tasting room or a dedicated production facility, but it's just right now with like building costs and COVID and everything.
Oh, it's crazy right
Seemingly every option we've hit has hit a dead end
Yeah.
shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating, but it's also a sort of it's a good problem to be at maximum
Yeah,
capacity and
yeah.
still selling all your product here.
Exactly.
So we distribute, but our sort of mantra on that is like, if you want our beer, call us, but we're never going to call you.
Yeah.
Like we're happy to deliver it, we're happy to sell it to you,
Sure.
but like we don't have a salesperson, we don't have a driver, we don't have someone who can maintain a line.
It's somebody
Right.
with their Subaru Outback bringing it to you.
No, it's me and my 1995 BMW wagon with a
Sick.
million miles on it. Just loaded to the gills. Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, you'll see us occasionally in beer stores and very weird restaurants, just like basically ones that I like to drink at. But that's pretty much it.
Nice. Nice.
Let's talk about the restaurant side a little bit.
Sure.
It helps you guys have great beer. You have great
Thank
food as well. Do you see people initially coming in for the food?
It's actually, I think that's one of the more surprising parts was it was a pretty good mix, like right off the bat. Like you definitely have those people that come in for the beer, but you also have a lot of families that come in here that are very well mixed. So they've got kids, they've got a wife who doesn't like beer, wants cocktail, and we don't have to throw those people out. Like we can sort of the whole like mantra when we opened was like cast a wide net. It's like give people a reason to come, but give people lots of reasons to come. Like,
Yeah.
So there's beer, there's food, there's a full bar. There's very different atmospheres depending on where you sit in the place.
You have Kino.
We do have Kino.
You could throw it back.
Begrudgingly have Kino. I was not on board with that. I have come around. So
Yeah, if you play a couple numbers, it's fun.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Throw it back to
Still
the
don't know what-
buffet room back here.
Still, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with
No,
it,
you-
but just dot some numbers out and throw it in the machine. See what happens.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
So yeah, and we sort of take that same mentality with our tap list too. We want to try and cast as wide a net as possible from stylistically, just to prevent people from coming in and just being like, oh, too many IPAs, too many sours.
Yeah.
We want to be pretty varied.
Yeah. I feel like there's only a handful of New Hampshire breweries that are kind of typecast into that. Oh, we're an IPA brewery. It seems like a lot of the
Yeah.
in this area.
And there's they're getting I don't mean this as like talking shit or throwing shade. Like a lot of those like quote IPA breweries in New Hampshire have really good non-IPA beer.
Yeah,
They just
Ranch
don't-
and
No
Blade,
one
for
knows
example.
about it.
Yeah,
they just don't make a point to market it.
I know.
I had a freaking amazing Belgian dark quad at Modest Man, and I was
Yeah.
like, where the hell did this come from and
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Like,
I would say the Oktoberfest I had at like Deciduous. I mean, they're known for their like fruited
Well,
sours and
Frank's a fucking magician.
yeah, he should come on the podcast. Frank, come on the podcast.
Frank, we've hit you up before,
He's my boy. I love him.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
right?
Also very handsome too.
Yeah.
Talking about Dreamboat Brewers. He's high up on the list.
We'll have to make a
We
New
should make a
Hampshire
list.
Dreamboat Brewers
Yeah.
calendar.
Make a calendar.
Ooh.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
Me too.
Cool.
So, if you were to say like what's your flagship beer? I know it's such a stupid term, but
I mean, Lazy Days has, since the first week we were open, has outsold every other beer on the list.
And that's
every
your-
every week. It's a 6% hazy IPA.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
What a surprise.
What a surprise.
But yeah, it's an approachable,
whatever. Yeah.
approachable, fruit forward, low bitterness, full bodied IPA that
Love it.
right now in the current market is still king.
Yeah.
And it's done very well for us. Now it's got name recognition.
Yep.
I like to think in the area at the very least. So people just come and that's their old reliable.
That's a good thing to have. I think a lot of
Yeah.
breweries
Yeah.
don't have the old reliable, and that's okay too. I mean, I totally get wanting to have the artistic side of brewing and want to brew something different, but
Sure. Yeah, it's tough to find the balance. Like that was a big struggle at the onset was like how many seasonals do we have? How many rotationals do we have? How many year longs do we have?
yeah.
So we've sort of constantly like it's slowly evolved like into
Right.
into sort of a chaotic structure where we keep 4 beers on tap that are always on and you can drink them to your heart's desire.
What are the 4 beers?
So Lazy Days, Lawnmower, which is a Helles lager, Snow Squall, which is just a straight Belgian white beer, and Monkey Bars, which is a Belgian double. So we're trying to sort of
Nice.
go a little European on your asses.
Yeah, but having that Belgian wit beer is
Yeah, it's very good.
it's
That's
very
cool.
approachable beer.
And a lot of non-craft beer drinkers like it because it's
Yeah,
pretty
exactly.
pretty unimposing.
Yeah.
And you can throw an orange slice on it and call it a
Oh, what's your opinion on that?
if it sells beer,
You don't
if it
give
sells
a
beer,
fuck.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like, I mean, we sugar rim our fucking pumpkin beer, so like whatever.
But, yeah.
It is what it is. I've stopped fighting that. Like
Good for you.
just like whatever. Like,
There's more stress in the world. Who cares about that?
yeah, like if you insist on putting like cinnamon sugar on your rimmed pumpkin beer, like you're giving me money indirectly. So like whatever. Like you paddle your own canoe.
Oh, I like that.
I love that.
I love that a lot.
That was Nick Offerman, by the way. I can't take credit.
Nick Offerman's the man. He is.
Yeah, good.
Good.
He is.
Good.
For sure.
Good guy.
For sure.
Great guy, I think, right?
Yeah.
Meh stand up, great actor.
Great
Yes.
actor.
Yes.
Did retweet me once. It was awesome.
Oh, I know.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's the one
So
thing
jealous.
I've saved. Like, I can't ever delete it
Yeah.
from our messages.
Don't ever delete it.
Save
Ever.
it until I delete stuff.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the New Hampshire craft beer scene. Is there something you wish you could change about it?
Change about the New Hampshire craft beer scene.
Yeah.
I mean, not from the consumer's perspective, but like I would love to eventually someday get on the same like legal platform as our neighboring states, Mass, Maine, New Hampshire, or Mass, Maine, and Vermont.
Yep.
Like New Hampshire beer legislation in New Hampshire is archaic. It's from the 50s. And all the states around us have rewritten their RSAs and their laws to sort of make it much more brewery friendly in terms of operations. Whereas New Hampshire, you're like,
Is that because it's
You still have
restaurant
to-
driven?
what's that?
You think it's because it's restaurant driven?
I don't know. Like
Restaurant and bar.
Like, yeah, well,
you guys-
no, because even like the brewery, like just a regular beverage manufacturer still fights the same
Yeah.
stuff. Like there's just these like old shitty laws about how much you can sell to whom
Right. And
and
you have
when.
to have food with your beer too, right?
Right.
Phil?
Like you need to have, and not only like from a brew pub's perspective, you need to have like, it's like a bullet pointed item like list of like, you need to have 4 cold dishes. You need to have 4 entrees. You need to have X dollars in sales to prop your beer selection. Like, it's just like,
What?
They like paint you down these narrow alleyways where like, it's great because we're still in business, but we could do this so much easier.
Yeah.
Like, and we're leaving money on the table, like at all breweries in New Hampshire are, just because of the laws that we have to sort of abide by. I mean, for fuck's sake, we still have to send checks to the Liquor Commission for our monthly payments,
Nice.
like our monthly tax payments. They don't have a
That's
website.
crazy.
Like, I'm not even kidding you.
Live free or die.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, it's a rant for a different day, but like, I
No,
mean,
we can rant right now. It's
love
fine.
yeah, just like
ranting.
it's just more. It's frustrating to see. You can you could go to Mass and go to a brewery and drink your face off, and there might be like a food truck in the parking lot that's selling grilled cheeses.
Yes.
But it's a mile walk, and you don't have to worry about it. Like here, you can't even use a food truck as your food requirement. Like you need to actually have a fucking Lunchable in a fridge somewhere out back. And then also, by the way, you can only sell a customer 2 pints, which is like
Wait, really?
Wait, what?
yeah, so brew pubs are different, obviously. There's 3 different classifications of brewery in New Hampshire. There's brew pubs, there's nano breweries, and then there's beverage manufacturers. Nano breweries need a food requirement.
Yeah.
If they don't have it, it's a 2 pint maximum per.
So that's why
per
places
customer.
like Liar's Bench have a full kitchen. Earth Eagle. And so that's why we
But
see
forces
a lot.
it forces breweries out of their comfort zone
Right.
too.
Yeah.
Like Liar's Bench did great with it. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they did an awesome job with what they're with what they have, and same with Earth Eagle.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it surprised them how much money they made additional when they added the kitchen in.
Sure.
Yeah, you can have.
I don't want to speak for
Yeah,
Alex,
yeah.
but like I think he would say the same. Like, so in a way, sometimes it's good, but like in another way, it's preventing way more breweries from opening just because people don't want to dick with the food side.
Yeah.
Right.
That's interesting because
Exactly.
I feel like I'm not going to speak for Spyglass, but I feel like I've gone to Spyglass before and gotten more than 2 pints.
Yeah, because it's an unenforceable fucking rule.
Yeah, yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
technically against the law, but like nobody's gonna be able to fucking
Nobody
count
knows
it.
the law. Yeah.
Right. Like the only way is like you'd have to like sting it with like enforcement or something.
Yeah, you would have to have so how many breweries are in New
Beer
Hampshire?
stingers.
Right now there's got to be over
100
100
plus.
now.
Yeah.
It's got to be close to 100.
Yeah, so you would have to have over or close to 100 people at every brewery.
Narcs.
Right,
Really?
basically.
Yeah, like,
Right.
And just
And,
like
like-
stay in the tap room and count.
it's wild too. But then like what the rule's so fucking vague too. Like what if you just cash out every 2 beers? It's technically a separate transaction.
Yeah.
That's true.
Right.
Like, and now
Yeah.
you're like,
True.
or what
Work
if
around.
my buddy buys me 6 beers and then says it's for the table, but then drinks all 6?
Yeah.
Like, you know. So
Right.
it's like it's laughable. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, this is not helping anybody, like Liquor Commission or us. Like, let's just rewrite it and fix it, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's tough. It's tough enough to make good beer.
Yeah.
To compete because there's a lot of good beer out there. And then you have to have a good restaurant.
yeah,
If you want to
or
play by the rules.
or even just a shitty restaurant, but you have to manage it and staff it and
that's just
have it
hard
available.
enough. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Like, so yeah, you have to lean in. Like, there's no half measures. Like if you want food as a prop, like do it as minimally as possible, but you still have to sort of float the overhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to get into the food here just a little bit.
Sure.
But we're going to go to a message from our sponsors. That was awkward as fuck.
Do-do-do.
Are you a solo artist, band, podcaster, or anyone else who needs recording services?
Well, we got a place for you where your vision can become a reality.
Welcome to Small Pond Studios, built by hand with heart and sweat equity by musicians for musicians.
Go to smallpondstudios.io to reach out to get more information. And make sure you let them know that Brute sent you. Hey, Sound Guy Ryan here. Didn't know if you heard, but we're a part of the Hopped Up Network. There you'll find other informative podcasts about beer. So go ahead, follow them on social media, and visit them on their website, hoppedupnetwork.com, to learn more about the people, beer, and breweries from around the country. And until next time, thanks for listening. Cheers.
We've talked about the food. When this place was opening, was it going to be food centric rather than beer?
Oh, we wanted like the original brew pub sort of feel. Like like I hate to say it, but like 50-50 right down the middle, baby.
Yeah.
Where
Is it
like
50-50 still?
I mean, in terms of revenue, no, food's more expensive than a pint of beer. But
Right.
I like to think that everybody comes in and grabs a couple of beers and food.
Yeah.
Like most of them. Yeah. So in that sense, yeah, I think the draws are equal. And you know, if I had to guess, I guess. But yeah, we set out to change the menu, obviously,
Yeah.
from old sort of steakhouse to sort of more modern pub food. And I think we've done an okay job with it. Like,
I feel like
It's-
on your, not to interrupt you, but I feel on your social media, it's definitely like you advertise the beer.
oh yeah, we do both. Like, so we
Obviously, Matt.
No, I know.
Jeez,
I know.
Damn it. Our social media marketer, who's Marcus, who's one of our owners, takes it very seriously. Like, he's his own algorithm. So like every post has a method behind the madness.
Okay.
So it's like beer, food, beer, dessert, drink, cocktail, something like that. I don't begin to know or understand it, but like
he's got an Excel
like,
file.
yeah, on Tuesday at 5 p.m. I've got to take a picture of a fucking sandwich. Like, so like that's just the way it works.
Cool, man.
So hey, I mean, it's pretty successful, and he's a genius at photography. So pretty happy that he took the reins on that because I couldn't do any of that stuff.
Right.
So
Where do you see Backyard kind of going in the future, or where do you want it to go?
Well, we want to have a distribution presence, that's for sure. We've talked about it for years now. COVID sort of told us one thing, and that's our beer is successful economically on shelves. We know that, so we want to make a push at it. Unfortunately, we just don't have the capacity here, so we're looking at other spots.
Just for production?
Yeah, a production spot, or a different type of experience, more of a taproom experience. But again, with New Hampshire food laws, it sort of paints us into a touch of a corner where we're like, we need food and we need to sort of do something about it. But we don't want to take away from the pub experience here.
Yeah.
So
Hot dog machine.
we've thrown everything out. I got high one night, like really, really high, and was like, we're doing fucking dumplings.
Oh, that would be.
Oh my God.
I was just like,
We are so here for that.
We're dumpling podcast.
We
love-
are for sure a dumpling podcast.
Where's the best place to get dumplings around here?
the Chinatown. There's really no
Fucking Chinatown.
There's no in the middle. Like you can get good steamed dumplings at like North Garden and Goffstown or like.
Oh, you're talking about like Chinatown in Boston?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. We were just like,
Yeah,
oh,
dim sum,
Yeah.
dim
Yeah,
sum
dim
in
sum.
Chinatown
Yeah.
is really where you got to go.
Agreed.
So,
And you lived in China, so you can say this.
yeah, I'm a certified palate. I'm a dumpling around.
Yeah. Dumpling around. I'd like to say that I am as well. Yeah. Oh, that's such a good name, dumpling around. Not really, but
I'm a certified.
Dump-a-roon?
I took the
dump
class.
around.
Sounds a little dirtier.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Fart
like,
jokes and poop jokes all around.
exactly. Start and finish.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't know what and it's obviously like construction costs and all this stupid shit is sort of preventing us from doing it well right now. But I'm sure it'll be like a sort of how this was, a convenient opportunity, and we'll sort of roll with it and play with it.
Yeah.
But we're definitely going to be expanding in the next couple of years. We just don't know how big, where, in what manner, and how far we want to take it.
Yeah. Do you want to have a bigger brew house?
Yes. Yeah, just for selfish purposes. Just be like, go into parties and be like, yeah, I got a 30.
So is it like that? No.
yeah.
Is it
Well,
really?
meanwhile, everybody looks at you and like, what the fuck? No, nobody cares.
No, I was gonna be like, oh, come on. Yeah.
No, it'd be funny if it did, though. Just be
Yeah.
like,
I was
hey,
How
like,
big
craft-
is yours?
I was like,
screw you, Rob North. Mine's 10 barrels bigger.
yeah.
Oh, he's got an 80, right?
No, he's got a
He's got
20.
20. Yeah, he's got 20.
We were just
But he's got a
saying-
centrifuge.
He's like lighting himself on fire with turns.
Yeah. I'm
He
sure
has
it's great
a
in the beginning.
centrifuge, so you would have
He
to
does
get
have
one
a
of
centrifuge.
those.
Yes, I love his centrifuge. Do you have centrifuge envy?
That's a thing.
But no, we want to be like, we don't want to go too big. We've seen a lot of the the failure stories, the sort of the
Bad labs?
the autopsies of the breweries that have failed over the past couple of years and what
Yeah.
they've done wrong and what they've fucked up.
Yeah.
So we don't want to go too big. We want to go pretty modest and just basically have an outside presence outside this building. You never like, it's really amazing to understand. You still go to like beer fests and pour beer, like, and you'll be like 5 miles from the brewery and people will be like, "Where are you?"
Yeah.
I'm like, what? How have
Oh
we
my
not touched? We've been here
gosh.
for 5 years. How have we not touched this market yet? So like, we just want a little more brand notoriety, a little more name recognition. Hopefully, like, get some people to push into the pub and into potentially our other location.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're happy where we are too. Like that goes without saying. There's much worse situations out there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, it's nice because you have the supplemental income of a restaurant.
yeah, for sure.
As
Like
well.
and we just we play pretty well, like between the kitchen and the brewery, like in the sense of just like, if we're not rolling out something new or if we're just in full on production mode, keeping tap lines full, but really don't have much resource to dedicate to doing a canning run or doing anything else to sort of supplement our side, the kitchen will roll out with specials or a promotion or something like that sort of helps bring in that.
It's kind of a full ecosystem.
That sort of, like we talk about, like getting stale on things, bring in a little bit of a new touch.
Yeah.
So,
do you think? Do you guys do food and beer pairings?
We don't.
It's
we
gimmicky.
tried.
Do you think it's gimmicky?
It is. And I'm sorry.
I think it's gimmicky.
Yes.
You
You're
always talk about
gimmicky.
it, and I think it's stupid.
And it's like,
Gosh.
I hate like one of my biggest pet peeves is like brewers and beer descriptions that are so up their own asses that like you gotta take a breath. Like, so like I can't get into the whole like, yeah, this veal chop plays really well with the spice notes of this Belgian double. Like it's like, come on, like it's beer and it's food. Like let's not overthink
Let's not make it wine.
Just enjoy whatever
Right.
you want with
Yeah.
whatever you want.
I mean, we incorporate beer into a lot of our recipes, which I'm all about.
That's rad. Yeah.
So
like-
rad.
So rad. It's so
dank.
that's
Tubular,
straight,
man.
that's
straight gas.
That's gas. Straight gas. Yeah. You're gonna say it tonight, unironically, and your wife's gonna be like, "What the fuck is that?"
My 3-year-old's gonna be like, "Yep, taking this to school."
Yep.
Yeah.
So
And they'll dab on your ass. They'll be like,
yeah, God, Jesus. The day my daughter dabs on me, I'm gonna go in a hole and cry.
Tonight's the night. Tonight's the night.
Oh man,
That's so
that's disturbing. But yeah, like I don't know, beer. Like, don't get me wrong, like some breweries do it very well, but we're just not set up for that. And I hate to. This is a compliment to our staff. Like, we're a pub. We make good comfort food, like at a high level,
Yeah,
and
elevated level. Yeah.
and we make good beer at what we think is a high level. Like, we don't need to pretend that we're something we're not. Like,
Definitely.
Yeah.
it's just, we really love the sort of old English public house mentality. Come in, have a few beers, have some food that you're probably not going to order on a normal day because
Yeah.
alcohol.
Face it, it's 3,000 calories. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We do not claim to be Press Cafe or Jamba Juice here. Like, that's sort of how we roll. We know our lane, and we think we do pretty well at sticking to it, and we're pretty strategic in what we roll out and do.
Speaking of strategy, I love that your tree actually has hop cones on it.
Yeah.
I always just thought it was leaves, and now I'm looking at the glass, and I'm like, those are hop cones.
Funny little story about that. We paid a marketing company a large sum of money to come up with a logo, font, and like marketing
Sure.
booklet.
And you did it on your iPhone?
They gave us a bunch of options, and we hated all of them. And then one of our cooks came in with like a hand-drawn sketch on a napkin, and we were like, motherfucker.
That's awesome.
So shout out to Alex Vigo. I think
Yeah.
he now works at Copper Door.
Rude.
So thank you for that.
But
You're the
shout
man.
out.
I do love you. So
Well,
Thanks for the logo.
I don't think we can end the podcast any better way. Thanks, Alex. So,
yeah, exactly.
On that note.
yeah. But Paul, thanks for doing this tonight.
Yeah, no, my
seriously.
pleasure. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where are you physically located so that all of our amazing listeners can come and
Yeah.
find you?
We are 1211 South Mammoth Road in Manchester, New Hampshire, right off the airport. And all of our social media handles is Backyard Brewery NH.
Nice.
Cool.
So we definitely suggest come down,
Grab some food.
grab some food, grab,
Grab
some
some
beer.
beer.
What's your favorite item on the menu?
Food or beer?
Both.
Both.
Beer.
No. What is your favorite on each side?
I always drink Lawnmower. It's just like it's
That's a
easy.
go-to.
It's easy 4% lager. So it's really that's what I do. In terms of food, I'm usually I'll try all the specials obviously because they're different, but I'm usually a chicken wing guy.
Chicken wings are so
The
good.
chicken wings are great. They
So
slap.
Thank you. That's beautiful, Ryan. All right, well, we're going to go practice our
Chicken wing dance.
chicken wing dance, and we're going to say some cool terms that we'll have for next week's episode. So
Stay
this
tuned.
episode was straight gas and fire and lit, and we'll catch you next week on the Flippity Flop.